All right, welcome back to the I don't know what is this show live stream. Um, so today we're going to be looking at making the tasks which are part of any of the entities and specifically projects to be a little bit more flexible and well, functional. We're going to be able to complete tasks, which is apparently important. We're going to be using Turbo to kind of wire up a lot of this. Yeah, let's get going into it. All right. So so where we are right now is that these are all tasks, and they just have the title. There's nothing really that we can click on to complete this or get any other information. So that's our first problem. So let's start off by just adding a checkbox here that lets us complete that task. So if we go into the view tasks, task, we get the title, scheduled information, etc. So I think it makes sense just to throw this right beside the title. Those are going to always be there. So we can just throw this in here, make it into a flex. And here we're going to do a space X 2 to kind of keep it close. And here we're going to do a form with model task. And actually, let me check right now. So if we go to the task controller, we have create, but we can't edit. So that actually is perfect. That's what I want. So we are going to end this. And in here, we only want to do a checkbox. So form.checkbox for completed. Actually, let me check the so for our tasks, we've got done at. Okay. So we'll have done, and just for right now, we'll do a form.submit. So if we do that, we can check that off and go update task. Update controller doesn't exist. Perfect. Def update. All right, so we're getting that task. And we should be doing current account dot tasks dot find params ID task dot update task params, and we do a redirect to, and I'm forgetting. So if we look at our task, it doesn't have anything that we can connect with, so we want to be redirecting to our task.activity dot, and if we look at our activities, we have, I think, a source. Yeah. Now this is probably going to blow up on us in a few different ways, so this should be fun. So let's update that. Okay, so our current account.tasks doesn't exist. So right now, we've got activities. So tasks, does it have an account? Okay, so we have a problem here. That's unfortunate. I thought this was going to be a quick video. Okay, so our task doesn't have anything. They're just floating in the limbo. But they do have an activity. And the activity has a source. So that's where we're going to get a task. And activity records are going to have the person that or whatever that they're connected to. And then that person is connected to account. So this is going to be tedious to work with. So let me think. So we got members, users, company, people, and projects all have a direct link. Email templates, entity types, entity attributes. Okay, so we don't actually have anything here to connect to that goo. Okay, so for right now, I am going to just say task.find. So we do need to come back and fix this because we could just change the task ID and blow something up. So this is definitely a big problem. So I'm definitely just kind of washing over it. I'll have to think a little bit more. Kind of my go-to gut on this would be to add a account to the activities, because then all those things would have a pretty straightforward way to get to that. So yeah. But I'll have to think about that. Okay. So task.find, whatever, update task params. All right. That's going to get us closer to what we want. The update task params done doesn't exist. Correct, it does not. And that is because if we go to our task model, we need a time for a Boolean done. And I think I've used this somewhere else. What did I use this also for? Oh, something else is using that. So time for a Boolean, what this does is it maps done at. So this gives us a few attributes or methods we can call. Done at is going to check to see, done question mark is going to check to see if done at is not equal nil. Doing done equals true is going to be the same as doing done at equals time.current. So this basically kind of handles that mapping and takes care of some nil values and other things. All right. Undefined activity for task. Okay, and if we look at, a note, we really don't have anything mapping that in at all. So note, email, or task. Okay, so has one activity and belong as source. I'm kind of liking that name, that I'm using it more, but I'll have to maybe think about that and change it later on. Action show cannot be found for tasks controller. Okay, so we have this do more stuff, which is ID 1. Actually, so close note activity from Smith, this is ID 6. So if we look at the activities for task 6, that is activity 55. And if we look at the activity records for this, that's going to be the project. So that's actually what we want to redirect into. So in the task controller, we're going to redirect to activity and activity records dot first. So we want to actually maybe do something like redirect back. What is it? Fall back to would be that. If I've done that run right. redirect back fallback location. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to use the refer to go back to wherever we came from. So this should go back to the right place. And if not, we're just going to say, well, go to the first connection that we have. All right. So if we check this, update activity records. Undefined method activity records for So if we uncheck this, update it. If we check it and update it, that looks good either way. Perfect. The formatting on that's messed up though. Oh, because the button's in there. Duh. Okay, we're going to be getting rid of that button at some point anyway, so that's fine. Okay, so it looks like this is working, and just to make sure this is all actually running through. So actually, if we open the new note just to test something and do update task, what's actually going on here? So it's going back and it is using the turbo stream, but it's not really doing anything. Okay, so what we want to be doing is redirecting, but if we've got turbo stream, we can go and say for format.html we want to redirect, but for format.turbo stream we're going to render a view. So for that, what we're going to do is in our task update.turbostream.erb. So if we look at some of the stuff, actually I don't think we're updating information just yet. So if we hop back over here and take a look at this section, we're putting a all right, so we have a task 6 ID on here. So that means that we can actually do some stuff here. So if we go into we can do turbo stream dot update, and this will be the DOM ID of our task. Let's just test that out. And actually, one other thing we want to do probably is in our, we won't put a highlighter in here. So we'll do the same thing. So add to the activities, highlight the DOM ID of task. All right. Well, let's see how this goes. And we are doing the task in here. Yep. Okay. So if we come and update this, it has now replaced it with ASDF. Or update it rather with ASDF. Perfect. So what we actually want this to do is we are going to render task with our task, and I think that should be good. Yeah, we're using okay. And actually this is going to probably give us a problem because I think we're going to be double. Yeah, we got task ID and side of a task ID, so in that turbo frame we're going to do replace. So now when we hit it, we're not going to have a bunch of task IDs embedded inside of each other. So now we can go uncheck update, refresh, and it's being updated. And we see that working perfectly. Okay, so that's kind of step one. We've got that so we can check things off. Woohoo. All right, now the other thing we want to do is auto submit this. So we're already using the Tailwind Stimulus components, and it has a autosave thing. So before using it, just because I know that a lot of these can be implemented different ways, I just want to take a peek and see how this is working. All right, so we got a form, we have a status feedback section, we have a timeout, which we're going to set to null, we have a duration, which is going to be getting a duration, or it's going to use 1 second. So that's great, so we can configure that if we want. So when we call save, it's going to clear the timeout. It's going to set the timeout to be a set timeout. It's going to set the status, and then it's going to dispatch the submit event, and it's going to do that after the duration. And we got a few things that are done for being used for status messages. That's fine. And then it clears the status message if you do set it. Okay. I don't think we'll really be using the status messages for right now, but this looks pretty sane as a starting place. So that's good. So let's wire that up. So in our JavaScript, so we're using, we have our application here, which is where we're bringing in some of these ones. Automatically, this index gets rewritten, so we don't want to put our stuff in here. That's not actually our code. So we'll use this here, auto save. It's not doing any weird capitalization or anything, right? Yeah, it's all lowercase. Okay. Auto save and auto save. Let's register it. Okay, and if we hop over to the task, so form with model task, and let's see what this is doing here. So we have our data controller target auto same form. We don't need the Ajax stuff. Well, let's grab it for the funds. Model task, controller autosave, target autosave.form, action, blah, blah, blah. All right. This might be an older version. I might need to do yeah, so this should be data autosave target. Data autosave target is form. We should probably update the documentation on that for them. All right, just make a note, because if I don't, I'll forget everything. All right. Okay. So that's good. What else do we need to do? So we've got, so with our text field, we have a data action, keep autosave save, which we're going to be putting on here. So on this checkbox, we'll do that, and let's take a look. So this is on action key up autosave true, but we want this to be on change. And just to make sure this is working, let's refresh this. Let's clear this out. If I toggle this, we're not getting anything. All right, it is missing the target element status. All right, so it does need that. Fun. Okay, so let's just grab that from them. And I'm actually going to do screen reader only. Well, all right. Can't find variable rails. You don't say. Rails that fire. I'm wondering if our version is out of date. Yeah, we can update that. We can update that. Those all look like they're about right. So he did updates to autosave. What does that look like? Because I'm betting. Yep. Okay. So this is actually breaking that dependency to actually need Rails. And we're not actually using Rails.ujs in our project. So that's what's going on there. When did 3.04 3.0.4 is on March 3rd, and this is November 7th. Goo. Okay. So let's copy that over and yarn. Oh, I don't remember how to do this off the top of my head. Yarn pull from revision. So actually, before we commit to doing that, this came out, what was it? March 3rd. So let's take a quick scan. 3.14, fixed toggle for checkboxes. Type from typing is only negative top and scores. Okay. All right, those all seem fine. Yarn hard. Okay. So our tailwind stimulus. Yeah. I just want you to give me. All right, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. So that's going to be get at github.com. Exit with and grab that. I think that should work. Let's see. Nope. Package JSON specific commit. Okay, so I should be able to do something like this. There's the 3 tones. Let's see if this works. Looks like it. And if we refresh here and bring up that, and let's see if we can toggle this. And it's still complaining about Rails. Bah. Let's just kill the server and make sure it's not doing something stupid. And one still getting, what are you doing? So if we look into here, tailwind stimulus components at blah 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 blah. Is that the right? I think it is. 338. Yep, that's the right one. Let's just hop into so it's definitely recompiled it. Can't find variable Rails. But that should not be there. Why are you being there? Let me just node modules, tailwind CSS components, source, autosave. Boom. It's right there. Bum, bum, bum. Interesting. Let's just purge all the, what are you, temp clear? Because something's obviously caching somewhere that's doing something, because that's wrong. Can't find variable Rails. What the heck? I'm on localhost. That is super weird. How's that fire formed it? So this isn't built right. Why are you built wrong? Huh. That's weird. So yeah, that's built wrong, which is why it's because it actually has a dist file. That's wrong. Do they have anything that has how to build? There we go. Let's try just rebuilding this and see if that works. CD node modules, tailwind, stimulus components, and can I just do yarn build? I haven't tried this before. Microbundle doesn't exist. Yarn install. Actually, let's just, well, that's doing its thing. Let's go see if there's any issues listed. Yeah, it's an unreleased version. Does autosave require UJS? Yes. All right, let's see. Did I already build this? Okay, so let's take a look at this file again and see if that takes care of. Rails is not in there anymore. All right, so let's just make sure that this is rebuilt. Yes. All right, so let's check. That is now working. Okay, so so before we can actually have this go up for reals, this is going to have to, yeah. So we're going to have to push something up that does this. What I'm going to do in the meantime, does that fire, does that form target submit? So it's passing in that this form target and the event. So yeah, we could maybe shim this out as a temporary solution. Yeah, I'll think about that but for right now, we do have this working just because we could rebuild it, and that takes care of half the problem, the bigger part of the problem. Okay, so this now lets us submit. And I don't really want to show that text for right now. So if we, okay, so that's working. Only thing I might say, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay. Okay, so this is working now. To submit that, let's refresh it. And we also maybe want to get this submit button, and I think we just get rid of it. Now for checkbox, that seems kind of slow. So let's hop back over here and look at the auto submit, auto save. And target status, save form success. Nope, doesn't say anything here on the doc. So if we go to source, autosave, we can see this data get duration. So I think I can go data duration. This to make sure that it works really well. Let's do something like 2 seconds. Make sure this is working. So if I so that's not doing it. Data duration. That's actually interesting. I should make this into a label for it, because then I could just click on the entire thing to be able to toggle it. Okay, so that duration is not showing up. So what's going on there? This dot duration is this dot data dot get duration. So this actually should probably better be set using the values API that is built into the newer versions of Stimulus. Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's a pretty good call. That could be a way that I could handle taking care of this in both situations. So if I go in here and I go into JavaScript controllers, auto save.js, this is going to have to come into here as well. So auto save. Which is so we'll grab that. We'll fix this to have the correct title, and in here we're gonna grab auto save from. This is going to be coming from, oh, what are you? So we're no longer going to be bringing an autosave here, and we're going to bring it in here instead. So we're going to extend the autosave. We actually are going to go into here, and we are going to remove that and just do a stock install. And in here, when we connect, let's make sure that we're using this. So we're going to alert. Ooh, don't know what auto replace it did there. Okay. And Import autosave controller, autosave controller, autosave controller. Yes, you can. Just try harder. Ah. What did I delete from here? Ah. Why are you giving me a problem? Import autosave from .autosave controller. All right, let's kill the server again. Blah. That seemed to be all right, well. Seemed to pull him down pretty bloody quick. SDF. All right, it's very connected. Perfect. All right, so what is it actually doing in here? It's doing this .timeout and duration or. So let's actually bring that in here, do the same thing, but let's throw a debugger here. And in its save, we'll just bring in the one that's actually working. And eventually we'll replace that because that's not going to be happening. All right, so this dot duration is 1000. This dot data dot get controller. Let's see if I'm, yeah, see what is this? This dot data dot get doing? I thought that was just accessing the data attribute. Stimulus this dot data. So yeah, this should be replaced with a data. Because this should be, I think, yeah, this is a data set. Well, what is this data? Just recursive. So that's what we want to work with. See, I wonder if this is yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'm getting a few different versions of things mixed up here. So if we go to the stimulus data value, is that doing anything? Data controller action, data alert. Yeah, so we have our data duration, data autosave duration value is what I'd be expecting that to be looking like. So if we hop into here, and this would be our data data auto save duration value is how I would expect this to work. And duration is 1000, so that's not working. So if we look at static values in here, that's what we're going to want to be using normally. So we'd have duration, and here we can then do things kind of a little bit better. So we're going to be needing a new number is what we're going to be looking for. And if we wanted to find the default, there we go. So we would do type string default is 1000. Then we get rid of this dot duration. And down here we do this dot duration value. I think that should work. Let's see what this does. Specify default value duration must match to the type. Number. And if we do this dot duration value, it gives us 10,000. Good. So now we can go in here. Where are we looking? In here. Duration. So this was 1000 before. We're going to change this down to something like, well, we actually want it to be 0. We want this to fire immediately. Well, for the sake of testing, let's change it to 5 seconds. And we can kill that debugger. And so now if we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and fired. Perfect. So let's change this down to 0 and fires. Beautiful. All right, and what's great with all the way that we've set this up is I hop over to people and check these off. This all just works. Okay, so that all works. The one other thing I want to do though is make this as a label for the checkbox. So yes, let's make the changes there. Okay, so form with task, we're doing all the stuff. In here, we're going to do a div. So we're actually going to move this div in. We're going to make the form go in a layer. This is no longer going to be here. All right, so we have our form. We have our checkbox. We have our, so actually, we're going to make this into a label, form.label. And this is going to be going for the done. And we'll add the class So we'll do that. We will put that into there. We will end this. And if I didn't do anything stupid, this should give us a great big fat error. Okay, what do we do here? Form with stuff. We've got open div. Okay, so we got form do stuff label and span and for the form. So that looks all right. Let me just pull this out to make sure I didn't do something. Okay, there's something here. So form.label done class equals All right. And this is flex. We're going to make this items center. So now I can click on anymore. Oh, labels for the wrong things. Okay, so let's change what this is going to be. The 4, because this is using an ID that's repeated on the page, which is the problem. So, yeah, so this is going to be a label. So here we're going to say DOM ID of the task. And so this is going to give us, then we'll say done. That doesn't like it. So ID is DOM ID. So if we do that, the ID is done task 3. Check name is task done. So that all looks good. And up here for the label, we're going to do DOM done. That did not work. What did I do wrong there? Span label for task. That's right. So this is going to be for done ID. Let's see if that works better. ID is done task 2 for task done. Right, that needs to be 4. 4 done task 2. All right. Much better. Okay. The only other thing I think I want to do on here is do pointer. So that's all working. And the only thing, other thing is if we go to our highlighter controller, we have values target string, and I'm going to add another one called duration type number. Default is 1500, and this is going to be this dot duration value. So by default, this should still 1/2. Yep. Okay. But if I now go down to the update turbo stream, highlighter duration value, and I can make this way shorter. So I can make this, I don't know, 150. Too short. Yeah, something like that. Maybe just 200. I like that. All right. So this means that the entire, and because the way it's set up, that I can basically click anywhere in that entire row, and that's just gonna toggle it for us. All right. So, all right. I think I like that. So this lets us add things, add tasks, check them off, and actually let's do this. So in our task, we've got schedule, due, done at. Well, that's all working right. Okay. So we can do something like this actually. Whoop. Content tag. Let's do div task.doneat if task.done. And we can that's working pretty well. We'll take the same idea for everything in here. All right, now this is actually complaining about us saying that we're going to need that time for Boolean for done, due, and scheduled. And if I actually update this, so this is for anymore. So if I go to that task, anymore, if we make that due at, I don't know, that, and for do more, we'll schedule you for the same. I don't know. Actually, let's do it Monday. And so we now have, why does that one have nothing? Oh, because I didn't take this off. So scheduled, due, done. All right. Do that. Do more is scheduled, anymore is due. Is that the only do more? Do more is scheduled at 2:27. Oh, I wonder if that one was due. So due at, huh? Okay, well, that's an interesting little thing. Anymore is due and done. Anymore is due and done. Do more is scheduled and not done. Do more is not showing scheduled. Why are you not scheduled? few more. Schedule that 223, 228. It's a future time, but that's not a problem, I don't think. Huh. Then why is this 27 working? That's really weird. Oh. Oh, so the time for Boolean is only doing past dated things, not future dated stuff. Bull. Actually, no, that does make sense because I'm not using it as Boolean. So yeah. So I probably should be doing those, and I probably shouldn't be doing I shouldn't be using the time for a Boolean for them. All right, so we got scheduled. That's all working, and that looks good. Okay, so we have a lot more powerful to-dos. They actually are functional now, so that's an improvement. And I've got a PR I probably need to look into doing. The highlighter stimulus controller is a little bit better now. It has a little more flexibility because we can toggle the duration that it's using. So overall, that's a pretty good win. All right, take care.